Morning and aloha. Welcome to Cam's Clamp. Last year I started my own YouTube page. It's called, can you tell? Just Talking 24. And on the page, what I do is I talk about, all different subjects. And the problem was when I started YouTube, I was totally video ignorant. I didn't know how to video. I didn't know how to record audio, audios. I didn't know how to edit. I didn't know how to post it. I knew nothing. I had to learn everything. And so I knew I couldn't do much with the photography aspect of the YouTube page. But what I could do was the audio. And so I concentrated on audio. And, I discovered that audio cables are very expensive. I mean, they are unreal. And so I said, it's not rocket science. I'll learn to make my own. So I learned the different connectors and, you watch different tutorials and everything. This is a tutorial. And in making them, I came across Cam's Clamp. It, I'm going to be showing it and you will wonder, it's so simple, but it saves you so much time and it'll cost you about $9. So we'll see you then. All right, for this demonstration, I'm going to be using a 3.5 TRS, and it's going to go with a Mogami 2552 cable. Okay, a 6.25 TRS, and it's going with Canary L4E6S cable. This is a star quad cable, yeah. And for my RCAs, I'm using Amazon. It's a two-lead double shield audio cable. And they're already stripped already. I wanted to show you how they're wrapped. This is a braided copper. This is a braided tin copper. And this is what they call a spiral braid, a spiral wrap. Okay. And I'm going to spray them out and let's go to the making after this. Before we go any further, let me set some really basic ground rules to you. Make sure that the barrel that you have, this is called the barrel. Can you see? Okay. This is the barrel. This barrel, the cable can fit through comfortably. You just get your cable and shove it through. Make sure it fits through comfortably. Okay. Second rule, make sure that these clamps at the end of your sled, this is called the sled. This part of the connector is called the sled because it looks like a sled. Make sure that the sleds will clamp onto this very securely. These are two keys that you must have. Okay? And now let me introduce you to the star of the show and what makes Cam's Clamp work. This is 1-inch copper, dual copper adhesive tape. There's an adhesive on this side, and it's just copper foil tape. This is the key, and I bought 1-inch wide, and I will explain to you why pick up 1-inch wide. It really makes a difference. But this is the star of the show. Without this, Cam's Clamp could not work. Okay? Thank you. Okay, welcome back. Okay, for time constraint purposes, I've stripped off the end of the insulation and sprayed it out. Okay? This is the Mogami 2552. It's supposed to be the industry standard in audio cables. And all you do is you peel it all back. Don't bunch it together. You want it as spread as possible. And you'll see why later. But you know how they tell you to all get it and twist it into two terms, and then you have to solder it in place and everything. And this way you don't have to. You just have to get all of the strands and You know, you're always going to get that one straggler. And what you do is you just comb it back. Comb it. Comb it straight down. And try to splay it out as much as you can, you know, the way that it was put into the cable. It'll make a nice, even, more smoother. But that's all you do. You just spray it out, splay it out like that. Okay? Now you get that copper tape and you cut off about a 3/4 inch wide piece. You can see it's a 3/4 inch wide piece. And the reason why is we're going to use that 1 inch piece. That 1 inch will go around the cable. It'll wrap the circumference a little bit more than one time, which is what you want. And then all you do is you peel off the tape like so, and watch out, it's a little sticky. It's foil, but it doesn't tear like very thin foil. It's pretty good. It's pretty strong. Okay. And then you place it down. Make sure the top is just above where the where those are coming, you know, where your wire's coming out. And then you go around as tight as possible. Just go around as tightly as possible. Make it as smooth as possible. Like so. Okay. When you get to the end, just massage it with your fingers. And that's it. Okay. Now, I don't know if I told you this, but before you put your connector on there, the clamps that you have over here, splay them out so that this can fit inside comfortably. Now you see Cam's clamp? Okay. Anyway, so you take this and you put the copper tape just past the clamp, and then you snip. This is about there. Sorry, wasn't prepared for that. Then you strip. I use a wire stripper, whatever wire stripper you want to strip in, and strip along a pretty big, at least 1/4 inch. Strip it. Sorry about the clicking. I just changed over to a lavalier mic and something's happening. I don't know what it is. Something's touching. Okay, so we got the two. So now we're gonna tin them. Now when I tin my posts, when I tin anything, I use a flux. And the flux just helps the especially this Mogami. If you look real closely in here, you'll see it has not only copper, but it has these nylon fillers. The nylon fillers is supposed to give the wire more flexibility and more strength. But just between you and me, they get in the way. So that's Mogami's downside. Okay, now the wire is all covered, all splayed, and then we're going to tin it and put a little on each of the posts. Very important, tinning, very important. Usually I use this part of my rig, and the reason why I use it is it holds my my connector so well, but it's terrible for filming. Yeah, I just found out it's terrible for filming. Sorry about that. That's just my traffic. You guys know I live on the side of the road, and I usually have a fan going, but because of the noise, I'm going to breathe all this smoke, this beautiful smoke. Same thing on this side. Then you have your white and your red. Sorry. Gotta remember that, yeah, I'm not doing that, I'm doing a demonstration. Sorry about that. Then all you do is just a touch. And release. Spin it around. Touch. Release. Then you pull it. Okay. That's your tug. And then I made a big boo-boo. I forgot to put on the barrel and the resistor, but don't worry about it. I didn't connect the other side of the cable, so that can be easily fixed. Don't forget. See, I'm a rookie. That's a rookie mistake. Very big rookie mistake. I forgot to put on the barrel and the insulator. So now you take it off. You clamp down the clamps, but not too tight so that you cut it now. Just make it firm. Like so. So it doesn't move. Put your resistor over. Your insulator. There you have it. That's Cam's clamp. Easy, huh? Okay, so let's do one more. This time we're doing the 6.25 TRS, which is an easier one. It's a way easier setup because you got more room on the sled. You got more room on the connector. But just that this Canary is a pain in the what to work. This is primarily used for XLR, long range XLR, because it has four. It's a quad star. It has 4 leads inside. It's rather troublesome. The braiding is hard to get off. I mean, everything is just hard. It's just troublesome. But like I said, over if you're going over a distance of 100 feet, 200 feet, you want something that's going to give you very reliable transmission of signal, right? So they use this. Now the difference on this is the prep. Well, everything is prepping, right? So you take a piece of copper tape, wrap, and wrap. Now this is considered pretty thick wiring for audio. For speakers, yeah, for speakers no problem. But this will never. You wouldn't use this for speakers because speakers take a higher ohm, the ohm amount that you can do. So okay, so this is tape's on. See that? Okay. Now the fun part. Taking the string off. Do you see how twisted the cables are inside? I don't know if you can see. See how twisted they are? Yeah, you've got 2 white, 2 blue. Everything else, you just cut it off. And if you're working and you only want to use 2, just use 2. I mean, just use 1 blue, one white. It's up to you. Like I said, this is do it yourself. You're doing your own. You're making your own. But if you're going to use 1 white, one blue, make sure you get the right cables, and you cut off the same one. You have to use a continuity meter for that. Sorry about the roosters in the back. It's about 4 o'clock in the morning. I know I had to take off my wall clocks because this thing was making so much noise. Okay, now we untwist. And when I work with this cable, I don't cut it until after I finish tinning it. And the reason for that is when you got more, you can cut, and you can always, it's better to have too much than not enough, right? You know what I mean? And so I take it all off. Sorry, I'm going to do this. And always take one longer than the other. The reason why, when I pull it up and twist it, that long one will come. The long one will come right into that and make a nice, even, gradual join. See, like that. I mean, that's just what I do. That's just my own idiosyncrasies. And as you can tell, this is my first DIY, and I usually just do a half an hour narrative. It's called Just Talking 24, and that's what that's my main show. This was something because, like I said, because I made my own and I started my own and I thought of my own. I had to learn all of this, and then I'm of the belief that you work smarter, not harder. That's what Daddy taught me. Got that one strand of wire. There's always that one strand, yeah. It gets in the way, but you'd be amazed how much interference one little strand of this copper wire can do. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so here we are. I gotta trim just a little bit more of this string. Okay, there it is. Okay, now we tin everything. Again with the flux. Touch and touch, and the flux is there because it helps to conduct heat. Liquid is a way better conductor than air. That's why they tell you get out of the water during a lightning storm, because if the lightning hits the water, the electricity can pass through the water. That's why. I know when we were kids and we used to go camping, my mom, if it started raining, the adults would tell, hey, you kids, get out of the water. And we thought it was because we were going to get wet. Later on, they said, no, if the lightning hits the water, you're in the water, you fry. But then in Hawaii, we traditionally don't have boat lightning. We have sheet lightning. But, miracles do happen and mistakes do happen like that. When, by the way, I put on all the boots and everything already, so we're not going to have that fiasco again. Yes, my soldering technique is terrible. I had to learn how to solder. I mean, I learned back in the 8th grade and I just don't remember it. Okay, so now everything's tin. Now we trim, okay? If you have to. So we're gonna lay this in here. And then we trim. And you know, if you cut it a little long, it's all right because you've done actually nothing to the wire, so the wire is still very flexible. As long as the wires, you know, as long as they spew out like this, you got no problems. Okay. So back in here, can you see that? I hope you can. It's a touch. Then we add a little solder to the tip. And white is the hot. So we touch. Let it cool. Spin it around. See, like I said, I'm not used to the helping hands. My rig allows me to spin it around. It holds it in place, but it spins it around. And because this is a little bit high, I'm going to use a tweezer. I'll tell you, these tweezers, they're just invaluable. It'll just be a touch. There's a little tail over here. Just trim it off. Bring this down. Clamp it off. Like I said, you want to make this clamp pretty firm. Not so firm that you cut through. A little bit more. There we go. Okay. Then your insulator goes up. And your barrel. And there you have it. Now to check it if it's working, stick it in my tester, in and out, turn it on. I don't know if you can see. You see it working? Every time. Well, there you have it. That's Cam's clamp. Easy, huh? It's fast. And like I said, it's easy. And believe it or not, I believe it's stronger than just having a pinpoint solder for your shield. You actually use the whole design of the connector and you incorporate into the strength of the connection. That's pretty good. Um, the only things you have to worry about, like I said, the cable must match the barrel. You know, the barrel has to be bigger, a little bigger than the cable. Number two, make sure the clamps on the sled can handle the cable. Now, some of these, let me show you right here, especially the 3.5s. They're really pretty. Okay, they're really pretty, but they're very small, and the sled inside is very small, and the pins holding it, the clamps, are very small. And if you're using a big cable like the Mogamis or what I showed you, they won't make it. The cable is just too big. So what you're gonna have to do then is use this. This is Mogami 2490. It's specifically made for headphones. It's made for smartphones. It's made for that tiny little delicate cable. Same principle. You're gonna use your tape. The tape is the main thing. Just that you're gonna cut the tape at 1/2 inch. Use the 1 inch to run downward, and then the 1/2 inch to go around. But that roll of tape cost me, I think, $9, $8.99, and it's 33 feet. Now, if you use just 3/4 of an inch, and if you do your math, the 33 feet comes out to 528 pieces. Okay, and if you use 2 connectors per cable, that comes out to 264 cables for $9. That's a pretty good deal in my book. Pretty economical. If you're a professional and you do volume work, it'll pay for itself because you've got a stronger connection. You disperse the entire. When you move the cable, you're dispersing that pressure on the whole sled. You're integrating the entire construction of the connection. And to me, that's a win-win situation. But I hope you try it. Hope Cam's Clamp catches on. Find out how easy it is. You got to practice. Like everything else, practice, practice, practice. But it's fun. You don't have to worry about that, that. And to me, it was a pesky. It was a pain in the butt. For one thing, you got all these braids. You got way more braid than you have inside of your connection cables. So the braid itself, that thing you twist, is bigger. So it needs more solder. The solder is bigger. It's more clumsy. It's a win-win situation with mines. I promise. Try it out. But anyway, if you liked what I did, check out my other one, Just Talking. It's on YouTube, and I attack all my subjects with the same veracity, the same common sense solution that I did to this problem. But if you do, please like, subscribe, tell your friends, and give me ideas of what you want me to talk about. That's what I need. That's what I want. I want ideas from you folks. What do you want me to, try and look into? Anyway, it's time for me to go, and I'll leave you the way I leave my YouTube page, Just Talking 24. And it's 3 Hawaiian phrases, and I'll explain them to you. And it is ahui ho, till we meet again. Ma'alama pono, please take care. And of course, from me to you, from my heart, aloha. Goodbye. Take care.